It's your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 times, and I'm back with another episode of Hood Tales. In this video, I'll be taking it to Decatur, Georgia, to discuss the case of Danyale Harris, a mother who took the law into her own hands, and it resulted in 19-year-old Juan Newkirk losing his life. But before we get into this video, please don't forget to hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and join the Tony 2 Times family. Tap that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Also, if you'd like to see more episodes of Hood Tales, please click the link to the playlist in the description box after this video to get caught up. And be sure to share this video with everyone you know. Stay tuned until the end to hear the whole story. All right, let's get into it. A protective mother can be unstoppable when it comes to others messing with their offspring, like a mama bear and her cubs. It's like an animal instinct, and sometimes it can't be tamed. There's nothing she wouldn't do to make sure her babies are safe. And God forbid something bad happens to one of her children, she's liable to go eye for an eye. For 42-year-old Danyale Harris, her instinct to protect her young took over after she found out that an adult male had been inappropriate with her daughter. On March 31st, 2020, Danyale discovered footage of her 12-year-old daughter doing things with a 22-year-old man, later identified as Antonio Harley. Danyale was probably shocked, disgusted, and angered by what she saw. I couldn't imagine having to see something like that involving my own child. The next day at around 3:30 a.m., Danyale went to DeKalb County Police and filed a police report with the Special Victims Unit. The officers who Danyale spoke with warned her not to let her anger get the best of her and do not attempt to get revenge. The detectives would contact her and they would handle matters from there. Danyale, understandably still upset, did the opposite and decided to take matters into her own hands. Hours later, Danyale and a group of people, including 19-year-old Juan Newkirk, headed over to where Antonio was known to be living. 3 of the people in the group were armed. Danyale drove the group over to an apartment complex near the intersection of Wesley Chapel and Snapfinger Road to confront Antonio Harley. They arrived at around 1 p.m. and Danyale instructed her daughter to point out what apartment Antonio lived in. After her daughter pointed out the apartment, Danyale then knocked on the door with the rest of her crew standing right behind her. Antonio didn't come to the door. Instead, he walked around the side of the apartment building to see who was there. Antonio was spotted by Danyale and the group, and they began to chase him. Antonio ran back towards the apartment and managed to make it inside through the back door. As Antonio closed the door, gunfire broke out as a person in Danyale's group fired the first shot, striking Antonio in the chest. Antonio's younger brother returned fire in an effort to protect himself and his 5 younger siblings who were inside the apartment. During the exchange of shots, Juan Newkirk was hit. Law enforcement arrived at the scene to find chaos. Unfortunately, 19-year-old Juan later passed away from his injuries. Juan was loved and cared for, and at just 19, he had his whole life ahead of him. As Juan was being laid to rest, Danyale was charged with multiple charges, including Juan's slaying. 2 others involved in the confrontation were also charged. Antonio Harley survived his injuries. He was later charged in connection to the things he's accused of doing to Danyale's daughter. Danyale's trial began in March 2024. On March 22nd, a jury found Danyale guilty of felony hit, aggravated assault, conspiracy to commit aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Immediately after the guilty verdicts, the judge sentenced Danyale to life in prison with the possibility of parole, plus 5 years. Antonio Harley's case involving Danyale's daughter is still pending. He is innocent until proven guilty. May Juan Newkirk continue to rest in peace. My belated condolences to his family and loved ones. I send them my well wishes. Juan tragically lost his life attempting to assist Danyale in her plot for revenge. He probably thought he was standing up for what he thought was the right thing to do. He was caught in the crossfire of a situation that really initially he had nothing to do with. I understand what Danyale was trying to do, but I don't think she went about it in the right way. She acted out of anger and unjustly led a group of people to a home to get revenge when other innocent people were also in the home. They had nothing to do with Antonio's alleged actions. More innocent people could have lost their lives that day. Getting all those people involved and pulling up to someone's home armed is a recipe for disaster. Antonio's younger brother had the right to protect himself, his home, and his younger siblings. If Danyale had not been blinded by her initial anger, Juan wouldn't have lost his life that day. She didn't go about this the right way at all, but I understand why Danyale felt like she had to do what she did. I also send my well wishes to Danyale's daughter. I hope that she is doing well after all this. Again, may Juan Newkirk rest in peace. Fam, let's keep the discussion going and tell me your thoughts on this story in the comments below. If you were in Danyale's position, how would you have handled the situation? What could have been done differently? Should she have waited for the detectives to do their jobs? Did she go about this the right way? Let me know down below. All right, fam, that's it for this episode of Hood Tales. Thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 Times. Until next time.